Today I work on it. Today I'm going to go over how I frame a basement. I'm going to go over how I nail into I-beams, because we have metal I-beams here. I'm going to get into the fastest way I level out my studs and run all my plates, bottom plates and top plates, and then how I frame out the walls with 2x4s. This room actually, the reason why I'm videoing this room is because this is going to be my YouTube room. So I'm going to set this up where I vlog, where I go over today I work on stuff, and what I go over, maybe I'll do podcasts, but I'll have a nice quiet room because these two walls here are super quiet. They're outside superior walls, and I'll only have these two walls, and then right above me here is my master bedroom closet. So it's going to be probably one of the more quieter parts of the house. The kids are all the way down that way, so I don't have to worry about them too much. So that's enough talking. I'm going to get into how I run my plates and go over that. The first thing I want to show you is you see that top 2x4 plate? It's a pressure treated plate. That's what I want to go off of. I don't want to go off anything else. That's what I want to go off when I build these walls. So my first step is I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to get a perfect level. What do we have here? We have our little green dot laser level by Bosch. It's all I need. You see that little green dot right there? If you keep going up, you can see it's basically on the line. I want to be level with that plate, so because I'm going to mark right here where the green is. So I'm just going to go like this. And then I'm going to take the laser level and I'm going to go on the other side of this plate. Because on the other side of the plate, you can see the green laser. You can see the green laser. I'm going to mark that here. Next up, let's get a chalk line. So I got my chalk line. My daughter's holding it. And then I'm gonna snap it. There you go. Now I have my line to run my plates. So now let's cut a piece of pressure treated. Before I run the piece of pressure treated, I'm gonna check the level on this wall to see if I could cut a true bottom plate and top plate. Holy guacamole. Huh. Well, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing, but this superior wall is off 1 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to have to cut the top plate 1 3/8 inch more than what I cut it to the column. And the secret is, the reason why I'm running the walls like this is I kind of want to hide the columns. I'll show you what I did on my other walls. You can see that in other videos. But who wants to see columns? Nobody. And also, I have a little trick that I'm going to do to make the house look super tidy in the basement. So let's get into that. But let me cut this plate. Cut the plate, it's all set up, it looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to nail it in with my nailing gun that goes to concrete. I have my chalk line ready to go, so I'm using this 2.5 inch ram set nails. You can get them at Home Depot in the hardware section, and like the tools. And I'm using a number 4 bullet. Now remember, I also have radiant heat here, so I'm paying attention to my PSI gauge to make sure I don't hit a line. I shouldn't hit a line because we have 4 inches of concrete here, but you never know. So first shot is going to be right here. I'm going to do that about 5 or 6 more times. Nailed it 5 times, as you can see, with my Hilti. You could use a ramp set as well. Next up, I'm going to work on this top plate. So let me cut that, and I'm going to show you the secret on how I nail that top plate quickly. Now we're going to measure the bottom plate. And I have to add 1 3/8 of an inch. So I got 175 plus 1 3/8, so 176 3/8. Let me cut that. So I have a little problem here, and we have to figure this out. So even though that wall is off by 1 3/8 of an inch, I just put my plate down, and it's hitting the wall. So now I can't do what I want to do, which kind of stinks. So when you have this type of a situation, I'm gonna have to cut it square to the bottom plate, and then leave a gap of 1 3/8 right here. And then I will run my stud across, but this wall will be off a little bit. There's nothing I can do about it. It's funny, out of all the walls, they've been all pretty level except for this one wall. That was when I had the whole fiasco back here. I guess they were rushing it. Or they were trying to get square on the top plate, and they should have moved this wall out a little bit. Huh. Well, I don't get what happened. But let's cut this plate back 1 3/8 inches. As you can see, you see the plate there. When I go to mark my 16s, I can't do it. So that stinks. I wanted to check my level to my top plate. Make sure, remember, if I cut this 2x4 too long, I'll be hitting that top plate. Then what? Then I got to cut it again. And then my 16-inch marks are going to be off. So that's my line. This is my line right here. You can see it. And this is my 2x4 plate right here. So now let's start marking 16 inches on center. I'm going to start my 16 inches on square on this wall. So I'm going to make a square mark on this side of the 2x4 so I know where to go. And remember, this wall goes that way, this outside wall. So this stud is going to be off a little bit. So I got that. I'm going to go 1.5 inches, square that off. And then now I'm just going to go 15.25 of an inch off this wall right here. And then I'm going to make my 16. So 15.25, and then you're just going to go 31.25, 48.25, so on and so on. And then after you mark them, I'm not going to show that on video, just take your big square and go like this, X, X. I'm going to mark all these, and then I'm going to mark out my door opening. As you can see, I marked all my X's. Now I'm going to put this top plate in. Before I put the top plate in, I'm going to make sure it's level with my bottom plate marks. So doing that, we need my green pointer laser level. So I got my laser, boom, that's hitting perfectly on my mark. That's level with my stud marks. And I also need to hit this top plate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the laser level over to me and then get a true level so the plates match. If you really want to be efficient, put it right on your mark, the laser level, and then you could see how close I am to that mark. And I am super close. So I'm just gonna tap it over a smidge, and you can see now it's basically right on the level. That looks really good. So I'm on, you can see up here, and I'm just hitting it right there. So that means I am perfectly level. Now let's fasten this pressure treated plate to the metal I-beam. Well, what am I gonna use? A lot of people drill it, try to self-tap it, and then put a bolt in through the I-beam, which takes way too long. About 22 years ago, my old boss showed me a trick, and it works. Just take your ram set and shoot it in. Watch. Now you have to be a little careful. I wouldn't look at it, have some safety glasses on, and these are safety glasses. Go right in the middle. Done. So that's rock solid, as you can see. Now I'm going to do that 5 or 6 more times. I'll level it off with the green level to make sure we're nice and true. So let me work on that. I move the laser level over a little bit, right where my other lasers. You can see I'm basically hitting the top plate right here. And now I'm just going to tap over this plate. Right about there. And now I'm going to shoot it again. So I'm using number 4 as well. And again, I wouldn't look at it. So I just get to the middle and just close. Done. Now, I just checked the green laser level. My X's perfect on the money. Now what I'm going to do is, unfortunately, I got to measure each stud. In basements, it's hard to just throw a wall straight up. To make it nice, you got to measure each stud and cut each one individually. So I'm going to mark all these studs now, and then I'll start cutting them. So my first stud is going to be 91.25, and my second one's going to be 91 full. And that's why you got to measure each one. So 91.25 and 91 full, right? I cut all my studs. They were off by about a ½ inch from here and there, like an 1/8 inch, you know, here and there, going from one side to the other. But now I made my doorway. I just lined it up with this other doorway so it's a straight shot from my master bedroom. And I'm gonna nail these up right now. So let me do that. I'm gonna nail the tops first and then work my way down and nail the bottoms. That wall is done underneath the I-beam. The next wall I'm gonna build is, it's gonna be a little utility room on this side of the house. And since this wall is off big time, I'm gonna actually have to bump out the wall about a foot, give or take. So I'm gonna I'll have an outside corner right here. And then I'll just add some extra 2x4s and we'll just come across this way. Because I don't want to build a door and have the door crooked if I went straight. And I have, let's be real, I have all the room in the world to do whatever I want in this basement. So we're gonna go to lunch and then I'm gonna buy some more material and then we'll work on this wall. Well, first things first, I'm gonna check to see, I don't want to drill through any of my I-joist up here. So I'm gonna move this wall back just a little bit that way so I can sneak wires down if I want to go and keep the wall clean. Because remember, these I-joists, make sure you look up the manufacturer's specifications and see what you could do to drill through them. Because if you don't drill through them correctly, guess what? You're replacing an entire I-joist. And when you throw the Advantic glue, may the force be with you, because that Advantic glue doesn't come off. Like, you'll destroy everything just replacing an I-joist. So, and I hate doing work twice. So let me get the laser level out and see where I'm gonna line up these 2x4s. Right now I'm gonna check where I wanna put my wall. So I'm gonna use my green laser level. So let's check this out. So let's look up. Too much. Right about there will work. So I'm just gonna mark that right here. And then what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna get measurements off of this back wall. So I have 41.5 inches, so I'm going to measure right now 41.5 inches. 41.5 inches, that looks good. Let me get the laser. Check it out. Perfect. I like that a lot. We're going to go with that. I'll get a chalk line and then we'll snap this. Alright, got my helper today. Hold it right there, right on the line. Hold it tight. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to get our chalk line and then I'm going to snap it, right? Hold it tight. Alright, got my chalk line. Now let me cook some pressure treated lumber. Because this is a basement, what are we running into? We're running into this I-beam right here. So my next top plate, I'm gonna make a level line down here with my laser and cut the top plate from the top pressure treated plate over. So I have level. So let me do that. All right, we got a point that's there, and then that is all the way up there. So I'm gonna mark the 2x4 right there. So that is now marked. So I know my plate is I'm gonna cut my top plate to that mark right there. So let me do that. Since this is gonna be utility room, I think I'm putting a washer and dryer right here. And I think I'm putting my water heater right here. I'm gonna make this a 36-inch opening. Remember, you wanna make sure you don't undersize your doors. So that's the next part. I have a nice basically level piece of wood to work with. So I'm right on my line right here. And now I'm gonna do 16 inches from there over on center. And the non-pressure treated 2x4 will sit basically where I want it to up here. So I have to mark that out yet. I'm gonna do that in a minute. All right, all my 16s are now marked. Now I'm gonna nail in this plate, the pressure treated plate, and then I'm gonna get level off of that pressure treated plate and put up the top plate. Now, that's all nailed in. Now let's get a level line. Let's get a level line, like so. I'm gonna mark that right here. Now I'm gonna get another level line near the camera. Can you see it? Right there. Let me mark that and then let me get my other laser and then I'll get a straight line. laser beams. So you see my red laser beam going straight down that way. So that's basically my line. It looks really good. So I'm gonna nail up this 2x4 regular piece of wood now, and then we'll build this wall out. I'm butt up against my pressure treated. Now I'm just gonna follow the laser. Make sure your laser's leveled in the right spot. Alright, that's done. Now I'm going to measure. Well, there you have it. I built my 36-inch doorway. I nailed up all the 2x4s. I want to follow my marks on the top. So we have from 125 full to 1.5 full. So it's about 1/4 inch off here and there, and unfortunately you just can't throw the walls up, and this is how I frame out a basement underneath an I-beam and then just in a standard situation. Now if I was going across, if I didn't have this I-joist to work with and it was in the middle of this bay, all I would do is I would install some 2x4 blocking. But that's a wrap on this video on how I install basement walls. Is it hard? No. Do you need a little bit of knowledge on framing? Yes. This basement's actually very nice. It's probably one of the nicest basements I've ever framed. So that made it really easy. But my next video on the basement framing is going to be how I build boxes around a I-beam up here. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like it. If you like all my videos on how I build stuff, please subscribe. I truly appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.